4-star general. His deputy, Joseph Inoselo, is also the first to hold the rank of lieutenant general. The duo now walk in the footsteps of history, marking a pivotal point in the country's national security.
And this is the role you have sworn to uphold, you have pledged your fidelity to, and have pledged your lives. That is the highest level of sacrifice, and we appreciate. We pledge to support, to work with you, to ensure that our force stands at the highest level of preparedness at all times. And so you can be assured that this government, like all those who came before it, are committed to ensuring that our army is fully and appropriately equipped.
For President Boko, this move is a legacy that will shape Botswana's future as she continues to tread an uncharted path of prosperity.
It humbles me today to have been the first as well to confer the rank of general, first in the history of this country. So history has been made. May you continue to rise. May you continue to serve your country with the exemplary dedication and commitment you have shown thus far.
This new chapter of leadership for Botswana Defence Force signals a new dawn in its renewed mandate of protecting the nation's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and national security. Utsidile Onkabetsi, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Minister of Minerals and Energy this afternoon signed a memorandum of understanding with International Consortium of Major Private Investors, which is envisioned to ensure energy sufficiency for the country. Speaking at the MOU signing, President Duma Boko said through this partnership, the country will advance efforts to revitalize Morupule B and increase its generation capacity up to 95% and the lifespan of Morupule A. President Boko further highlighted that the refurbishment of the Morupule B will not only optimize its performance, but through technologies deployed, modernize networks within the continent.
Morupule B will be subjected to a serious reassessment, the end of which will be its refurbishment to bring it not just to optimality, but to super optimality. Take it from being suboptimal to making it super optimal. That means it will be at 95% and above. That's about 600 megawatts of power at the best of times. Morupule B. Morupule A, which would otherwise be mothballed in 2 years, will also, from the technology that will be deployed, now enjoy a renewed lease on life. The consortium conservatively states that that extended period of life will be anything from 10 to 15 years.
Because, as you all know, we've presented again in Parliament and through the Botswana Energy Compact that we intend to have electricity for all by 2030. We intend to have a sorted electricity generation mixed bag with coal and renewable by 2030 in the ratio of 50-50. And that we have an ambition to ensure that we not only provide for our domestic needs, but we start to reach out to the export market. Therefore, as shown by all the MOUs that we have signed with Zambia, with Namibia, and we intend to do with South Africa to unlock more opportunities in the Southern Africa power pool.
Speakers at a memorial service held in honor of the late Ambassador Lekgoaila described him as a man of integrity, intellect, and deep patriotism who devoted his life to promoting peace. The memorial held in Gaborone was attended by Vice President Mr. Ndaba Gaolatli, former Presidents Mr. Festus Mogae and Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, along with their spouses. Ambassador Lekgoaila passed away last Friday.
In a tribute message read on behalf of President Advocate Duma Bookom, Ambassador Lekgoaila, Joseph Lekgoaila, was praised for his intellect, eloquence of speech, and his deep commitment to multilateralism. The president said Lekgoaila's work reflected the values of dialogue, justice, and unity in diversity that contribute to guide the nation of Botswana. Ambassador Lekgoaila's career in public service spans more than 4 decades, from his early years as Assistant External Affairs Officer in the Office of the President to serving as Senior Private Secretary to the founding President Cesar Tsekama, and eventually being appointed Botswana's Ambassador and Permanent Representative to the United Nations in New York.
We celebrate him for being an exemplary and exceptional diplomat who faithfully advanced Botswana's national interests for the betterment of the lives of Botswana, young and old. He raised this through various diplomatic positions he held, such as his role as Botswana's ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations in New York. On this multilateral platform, he advanced Botswana's national development goals while projecting the country as a respected and influential player on the international arena.
He would teach us how to craft resolutions of the General Assembly, of the UN Security Council, of ECOSOC, and of other bodies of the United Nations. He was patient, he was understanding, but he had very little tolerance to mediocrity and clumsiness.
Family members spoke fondly of Ambassador Lekgoaila, remembering him as a devoted husband, caring father, and a loyal friend.
To say Daddy is an amazing father is an understatement. I know no one is perfect, but Daddy was perfect in my eyes. Daddy treated my sisters and I like eggs. He never ceased to make sure that we knew we were loved and taken care of. As a matter of fact, I dare to say, I and my sisters were very, very spoiled by Daddy. Daddy always made sure we had everything we needed and wanted. I grew up watching Daddy treat Mommy like the queen that she is. Through Daddy, I saw how a man is supposed to treat a woman, how a husband is supposed to treat a wife.
His wit, his wisdom revealed themselves fully. Joe carried himself with serenity that disarmed hostility. Joe's diplomacy was not a matter of performance, but a vocation. He was never seduced by power. He understood that the true measure of leadership is not how loudly you speak, but how deeply you listen.
His contributions to our church growth were immeasurable. As an elder, he guided us with wisdom, and his involvement in the construction of the Boundary Wall in Yamatibozwe includes the thoughtful gift of the main entrance stone will forever be remembered.
The late Lekgoaila is survived by his wife and 3 daughters. Kikantse Khumalo, Botswana Television, Gaborone.
The Vice President, Mr. Ndaba Gaolatli, has informed Parliament that 180 186 approved projects are ready for implementation under the Botswana Economic Transformation Program, BETP. Speaking earlier today as Parliament debated a motion that seeks to approve Botswana Economic Transformation Program as a national framework to drive the country's transformation agenda, the Vice President said the projects will commence once Parliament endorses them and approves the amendment of certain sectoral reforms to facilitate effective implementation. Some of the projects are not new but were stalled by various challenges, including implementation delays, funding and red tape within the government machinery.
Through full execution, the program will, over a period of 10 years, exclusively this program, mobilize 514 billion pula in cumulative investment. It will unlock new industries and revitalize existing ones, creating over 512,000 jobs. It will bring opportunity and dignity to households across every district. It will lift Botswana's gross national income per capita to $15,730 by 2036.
National Economic Transformation Program e lemogile so santla di tsamaiso gore ke tse di diang tsa madiadia tse o helelang go buiwa go sa diragadiwe. This program says we are now going to implement its execution. What are we executing? It has outlined 186 projects, not ideas, projects, things that have to be implemented in order for jobs to be generated, for the economy to grow.
The biggest challenge that we are having as a country is implementation. Implementation can only happen if you have the capacity to implement. Now I look at the BETP as an implementation tool of NDP 12, a sophisticated implementation tool for NDP 12. But as I listened to the Vice President, who is also the Minister of Finance, the capacity to supervise projects has been built.
You're still with BTV News at 9. South African Airways has relaunched the route between Gaborone and Johannesburg. The Chief Executive Officer of South African Airways, Professor John Lamola, described the flight's return as a crucial step in a collective journey to building a strong, integrated and resilient African aviation sector, one that can compete on the global stage. Launched on Tuesday in Gaborone, the route has been hailed as a catalyst for trade, tourism and the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Horata Moranyani with more.
In a move celebrated not just as a flight path, but as a bridge between nations, South African Airways has triumphantly returned to the skies between Johannesburg and Gaborone. The relaunch, marking the end of a 10-year pause, was said to be a powerful symbol of a renewed commitment to shared prosperity and African unity.
Tonight is a celebration of a reunion and a renewal of partnership, given where the relationship of the people of South Africa and the people of Botswana are. It's more than a decade that South African Airways has not been in Gaborone, and it has been long overdue that we as South African Airways are in the path that we are in currently. And this step of launching into Gaborone, meeting our two objectives. The first one being the general promotion of aviation in Africa, but secondly, strengthening our Southern African industry in the airline industry.
Is improving connectivity. It is important that the progress and transformation of this country from an economy standpoint be on the back of a strong aviation sector.
The relaunch is strategically poised to be a game changer for Botswana's market accessibility as it opens a vital artery for tourism, inviting the world to experience Botswana's iconic Okavango Delta, the Chobe National Park, and more.
SAA coming to Gaborone is going to mean a lot, particularly for the tourism industry. President Boko always talks about, and the ministers, they always talk about diversifying investments into Botswana.
Today's launch demonstrates confidence in our region's potential and underscores the importance of regional connectivity. This is an investment in the future of SADC regional integration and in the realization of African Union's Agenda 2063, which envisions an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa.
The relaunch was seen as not merely a commercial venture, but as a strategic investment in the future of the Southern African region. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News, Gaborone.
312 students graduated from Lim Kok Wing University in Gaborone this morning, a defining moment for technology and innovation in Botswana. In attendance was the Minister of Sport and Arts, Mr. Jacob Kilibeng, who underscored government's unwavering commitment to education, identifying it as a primary driver for sustainable development. Khorata Moranyani with more.
This graduation ceremony celebrates the work and toil of hundreds of students who formed class of 2025, who are now poised to enter various sectors of the economy, particularly in the creative, technological, and innovative fields. Minister Kilibeng reiterated that Lim Kok Wing University remains an integral part of the growth of the economy and that investing in human capital is seen as a central pillar of the government strategy for long-term sustainable growth.
Our government that you elected continues to affirm that the true strength of our nation lies in its youth. The conviction guides us our continued investment in education as the cornerstone of Botswana's sustainable development. Through deliberate and forward-looking policies, we aim to empower young people with confidence, independence, and entrepreneurial spirit required to thrive in a dynamic global economy. Therefore, a great honor for the Minister of Sport and Arts to be part of this moment of celebration. Today's graduation is not only a recognition of personal success, but also an acknowledgement of the critical role that the Lim Kok Wing University continues to play in national development.
As part of their contribution to upscaling the workforce in the creative industry, Lim Kok Wing University awarded 20 scholarships worth 1.6 million pula through the Ministry of Sports and Arts.
It did more than establish another institution of higher learning. It introduced a bold, transformative model that seamlessly blended creativity, technology, entrepreneurship, and technical expertise. This unique model was not only redefined education, but also empowered a new generation of innovators, graduates who think differently, change conventions, and lead with imagination.
The institution is seen as a vital partner in the country's economic growth and a key agent in empowering the youth with necessary knowledge and skills to navigate this digital era. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News, Gaborone.
Matagana Anti-Stock Theft Committee, comprising 6 members from cattle posts around Mazitama in the Central District organized a workshop in Dibejana Cattle Post to come up with ideas that could be implemented to combat stock theft in the area. Speaking at the event, the Deputy Divisional Commander North, Assistant Commissioner Ronald Molapisi, commended the committee for its effort. Terry Makhoeng.
Stock theft is a prevalent issue that most people in villages across the country complain about. The Central District is not an exception, as farmers around Dibejana and Maletsogo cattle posts say their livestock is being ravaged by criminals. This workshop was therefore held to come up with ways of curbing stock theft in their area. Assistant Commissioner Ronald Molapisi advised farmers to refrain from relying too heavily on headmen to take care of their livestock, which he says makes it difficult for them to provide evidence in cases of livestock theft. However, he said they are doing all they can as the police to combat this crime.
Ra lemoga gore dikgomo gompieko bogodu jo bo diragalang ke jo go bolaya dikgomo mme kana go bo gona le market mme market o re o lemogile gore ke di butchara.
He realized that the market for stolen livestock is mostly butcheries and vendors. As such, we plan to move from butchery to butchery to ensure that the meat being sold is legit.
Ro komela go bona gore mme dinama tse di mo butchereng ke tse di ka ha molao di tsene sentle ka mantswe a mang.
Farmers are encouraged to know their livestock well and to also not delay to report whenever stock theft happens in their area. They are also advised to keep up with changes that are being made, like closing of base 2 and introduction of base 3, which ensures that the livestock is registered and can be traced. My belief is that as a farmer, before you report your livestock stolen, you should at least have done a bit of investigation yourself so that you have evidence, and in case you are not properly assisted by the police, you can plead your issue with the committee. When you move to base 3, you should register cattle that you know for sure are in your kraal. For you to do that, you need to have coordinates. Every kraal should be registered. Some farmers also shared their views. In this area, there's a tree called Mutsiara, which tears off the ear tags from our cattle. Stock theft is usually done by residents who know how things work in the village, not people from far away places. It is hoped that workshops such as this one will play a pivotal role in helping combat stock theft in districts across the country. Terry Makhoeng, BTV News, Dibejana Cattle Post.
And finally, moving further afield, Russian President Vladimir Putin has instructed officials to prepare for possible nuclear weapon testing, but only in the event that the U.S. resumes its own. This instruction follows comments by President Donald Trump suggesting a restart of American nuclear tests, though his energy secretary clarified that no nuclear explosions would be involved. The development come amid rising tensions and recent weapon tests by both nations. Despite signing the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, the U.S. has not ratified it, and global nuclear testing has largely ceased since 1992, with North Korea as the exception. Ntabogang Sematlela is standing by to give you sport.
Thank you very much, Khomuzo Mapane. Now, Botswana Tonight Sports News follows with me, Ntabuhan Sebetlela. Tshepa Mogala of Nghabe Table Tennis Club defeated Renilo Lekore or Smash Maniacs by 4 sets to 1 in an exciting Phoenix Assurance Super League's Week 9 match played at Babusi Hall in Bontling on Wednesday evening. Horata Muyen reports.
Tshepa Mogale, who entered the match with great determination, showed strong intent from the start, winning the first set 11-6. The table turned, however, in the second set as Lekore, who also started the match with confidence, fought back to claim the set by 11 points to 6. The third and fourth set proved challenging for the seasoned Lekore, who showed signs of fatigue, while Mogale marched on to win both sets 11-5, sealing the match by 4 sets to 1 overall.
Well, the match plan, and I've tried to stick to the plan, but he's a difficult opponent. He made sure that pressure, and I had to cope and adjust.
It was difficult, but I managed to at least do something better.
In the other first division matches of the Phoenix Assurance Super League, Carol David of Bontling Ituiten Table Tennis Club defeated Sebongile 6 of BDF by 4 sets to 0, while on the men's side, Tirelo Sosamo of BDF Table Tennis handed Renilwe Lekore of Smash Maniacs his second loss of the day, defeating him by 4 sets to 1. Horata Mwembi, TV Sport, Gaborone.
And lastly, in the UEFA Champions League last night in Cyprus, Paphos made history with their first ever Champions League win as they edged out Villarreal 1-0. Derek Lucasen scored the all-important header early in the second half to move Paphos to 20th in the log standings, while the Yellow Submarine of Villarreal is 32nd. In other clashes, Chelsea settled for a 2-2 draw against Karabakh. Galatasaray's Victor Osimhen stole the spotlight in Amsterdam, backing a hat-trick as the Turkish side thrashed Ajax 3-0. Barcelona battled to a 3-3 draw against Club Brugge. Inter Milan kept their perfect record, defeating Keret Almaty 2-1. Atalanta clinched their last-minute 1-0 win over Marseille, thanks to Lazam late strike. While the Etihad, Manchester City dominated Borussia Dortmund for 1. Ben Leverkusen and a 1-0 away win against Benfica, while Newcastle United secured a comfortable 2-0 victory over Athletic Bilbao. From the sports desk, that's all I had for you this hour until we meet again tomorrow. Now back to Khomuzo Mapane to remind us of our leading stories.
Leading stories tonight, government signs MOU with Global Consortium to advance energy security.
In table tennis, Mogala downs Lekore in Week 9 Round 1 action.
Let's now check what the weather has in store for us this evening.
Good evening, my name is Neo Aten with tonight's weather forecast. This morning at 8 o'clock, we received the following rainfall reports. 46 millimeters at L.O. Dialos Farm, 17 millimeters at Pandamatenga Meteorological Station, 15 millimeters at Mapashalala Primary School, 13 millimeters at Serowe Police Station, 10 millimeters at Sua Junior Secondary School, 8 millimeters at Maung International Airport, 7 millimeters at Seronga Police Station, 6 millimeters at Dagui Primary School, 5 millimeters at Ranu Kanyani Primary School, 4 millimeters at Boro Prison Farm, as well as Mahapatona Primary School, 3 millimeters at Mokane Primary School and Lehlakane Meteorological Station, 2 millimeters at Boxspitz Primary School and Soa Meteorological Station, 1 millimeter at Dukwi Junior Secondary School and Radisele Primary School. Other areas of the country, we received rainfall reports that were less than 1 millimeter. Now, for the current satellite picture, clouds are visible over most parts of the country, and we're expecting these clouds to give us precipitation this evening. Tomorrow, on Friday, we're expecting cloudy conditions throughout the country with a chance of scattered thunder showers over Kalahari, Gauteng, Ngamiland, Chobe, and northern central. Other areas of the country, we're anticipating isolated thunder showers. We are also expecting fresh to strong winds over most parts of the country. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precaution. In the morning, temperatures will be warm over Gauteng, Kalahari, southern southeast Gauteng, in southern central and northeast, with 16 degrees Celsius at Ngwajani to 19 degrees Celsius at Silebe Pikwe. Other areas of the country, we're expecting hot temperatures with 20 degrees Celsius to about 21 degrees Celsius. Now, for afternoon temperatures, we're anticipating those mild temperatures over southeast Gauteng, southern central and northeast, with 23 degrees Celsius at Francistown to 26 at Lepepe. Other areas of the country, we're expecting warm temperatures with 27 degrees Celsius at Letlhakane to about 29 degrees Celsius at Letlhakane. Now let's continue with the weather forecast for this coming weekend. For southern, southeast Gauteng and Kwening, we're expecting cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers, and in the afternoon, we're expecting cold temperatures on Saturday, and on Sunday, we're expecting those mild temperatures. For Gauteng and Kalahari, we're expecting cloudy conditions with scattered thunder showers and mild afternoon temperatures. For Chobe and Ngamiland, we're expecting cloudy conditions with scattered thunder showers and warm afternoon temperatures. For Central and Northeast, we're expecting cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers. In the afternoon, we're expecting on Saturday cold temperatures, while on Sunday, we're expecting mild temperatures. Well, that is all that I had for you this lovely evening. Until we meet again next time, good night.
Now, we talk about the African Union Peace and Security Council. The key mandate